I can't help but feel bad for people sometimes. Like I'll see a kid who's severely overweight walking around or whatever, and I'll just think to myself, like, how difficult the experiences he's gonna have to face if he doesn't lose that weight or if he's gonna be bullied. I have a very empathetic towards people in their situations, and it can be difficult for me to learn to mind my own business in a sense. It's not like I'm gonna go out of my way to say something or say my opinions on something to somebody. I don't know their life. I don't know their situations and stuff. I just noticed that me personally, I have a hard time accepting the reality of someone's um, difficulties in life. I noticed that like I'll dwell on it for a little while, and I think that's what's lacking in today's society. People are so concerned about themselves, and I mean, rightfully so. You have to do what's best for you. But I think the world would be in a better place if we just had a little bit more compassion and empathy towards people and their situations. Um, there's a double-edged sword because whenever I see like a homeless person or someone who's struggling, it's in a selfish way. I feel good giving to them, but also there's people that don't give to them, and I can understand why. My first time ever giving to a homeless person, I gave him probably $5, and then all my friends ended up giving him money too. He probably made like $20 off of me and my friend group, and within 5 minutes, the guy had people there and buying drugs. And so my hard-earned money went to him for free because we thought he was suffering and struggling. And he took that money. It was outside of a McDonald's, and instead of buying food, it's a very, very skinny, frail, homeless man. Instead of buying food or helping himself, he bought drugs with it to escape his reality. Because that escape with the drugs is worth more than the basic necessities of food and water. It's just an idea and a thought that I struggle with at times. I can't disconcern myself from people's situations versus their actions that put them in those situations. And I think there's a line in adulthood, a certain line where at a certain age you have to take responsibility, and up to a certain age you don't really have the choice. A child is very, very bad at making decisions for themselves. So an obese kid at 10 years old who's been given all this food and stuff and the maximum amount of quantities and all this stuff, it's not that kid's fault. The parent's the one at fault for that. It's a form of child abuse. Honestly, that kid's gonna have to suffer being scrutinized by his peers, by his the kids of his age and his grade, and then he's set up for failure. He's gonna have to struggle to lose that weight later on if he decides to, if he doesn't reach a form of depression or a sadness, and which then he copes with eating more food. There's a lack of accountability in this life. It's easier to have a kid scream and yell and get them to stop complaining by giving them food, right? Than to sit them down and explain to them and teach them and parent them in the correct way. It's easier to just throw on a television show and distract them from annoying you than it is to sit there and help them with whatever the interest they have at that time. I don't have kids, but I've kind of raised my little brother. There's like a 9 or 10 year age gap in me, my one younger brother, and then my really young brother. We all shared a room together when I was growing up. And so I had to take care of him, change his diapers, feed them, play with them, do all the things that a parent should be doing, but I had to do it. My other brother had to do it. Regardless, the world would be such a better place if we just had a little bit of empathy and compassion towards one another, to understand that you don't know what someone's going through. You don't understand what's on their mind constantly. You don't know what their home life is like. You don't know what they've experienced. You don't know the silent battles that everybody's facing. And so rudeness and this culture of um, like despicable, just disgusting meanness towards one another has eroded society and the way we treat one another. I just think that there's a line, there's a fine line between being the victim and truly having bad things happen to you and having a reason for acting a certain way or doing certain things. And I think as adults, we all have the choice to learn from our mistakes and grow. And conditioning from society and growing up can be a big deterrent in how you a big factor in how you grow up when you're older, becoming an adult. But I would say I think we could solve a lot of issues if people would just communicate with one another and just be kind, open the door for one another as you're passing. If someone is, like I said, there's a fine line, but just being genuinely compassionate and understanding that maybe even just talking to someone and saying hey or telling them they look nice with no ulterior motive could go a long way. Just a little thought that I had. My mind is kind of, I have like ideas and topics that I'll dwell on for a long period of time until I fully grasp the concept that I'm trying to relate to you guys, and then I'll divulge into that topic and see if people can relate to it or not. So try to be a little more compassionate, a little bit more grateful, a little bit more empathetic towards people in their situations, because you never know what they're going through. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.